Good evening. Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. Randolph School dismissed students early today to review a safety concern related to a financial extortion scam. According to an email sent to parents, the school became aware of the scam on February 13th. A faculty member had been targeted by a financial extortion scam involving threatening emails. Today, the scammer emailed parents connected to the faculty member through social media. HPD investigators say there's no credible threat, but their cyber financial unit is investigating. The school says they dismissed students to ensure their safety while authorities investigate. We'll continue to keep our eyes on that. Well, a Huntsville City school bus involved in a traffic incident on Drake Avenue this afternoon, injuring 3 students. HCS says the driver of a bus serving Jones Valley Elementary School was forced to brake suddenly to avoid a car that swerved in front of the bus. Here's video of that scene. Paramedics responded to assess students on board. 1 student taken for further medical evaluation, and 2 other students may seek evaluation out of caution. Families are being contacted directly. Well, the sun was almost nowhere to be seen. Lots of cloud cover, lots of humidity, just icky. This is over out in the shoals. So yeah, that's what we dealt with for this Thursday. Joining us tonight is Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, a muggy day and rain bringing on a severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, we do have a couple of different severe thunderstorm warnings in place across primarily northwest Alabama and then a couple of other locations south of the Tennessee River. Many of us are dry up across southern Middle Tennessee, dry across the Huntsville Metro. We're going to stay dry in the Huntsville Metro and then dry over in northeast Alabama. But we are talking about some thunderstorms that are packing a bit of a punch over in northwest Alabama. This activity sitting just to the south of the shoals. Those folks are just talking about a little bit of rain, some heavier rain up in Cherokee, but they're out of this severe thunderstorm warning, which I believe is going to run until 6:15 or 6:30. If you're in Russellville, you're dry for the time being. Maybe you'll get a little bit of rain, but it looks like most of this is going to sit to the north. If you're in Littleville, you're going to get some pockets of heavier rain. You're going to get a little bit of lightning, and then there is also a concern for just a little bit of hail. The hail within this storm has been smaller over the last 15 or 20 minutes. Now, this storm has been packing a bit more of a punch in that the hail has been a little bit bigger as it pushed its way through Moulton, now moving its way out of Moulton, getting closer to Hartselle, and then heading down into Falkville. Some pockets of heavier rain. Looks like this storm is actually weakening a little bit. Looks like the lightning is a bit down. We'll continue to watch these and provide you with another update here in just a couple of minutes.
The Boaz Police Department needs your help finding a missing 27-year-old woman. Take a good look at your screen. Latasha Brothers was last seen yesterday wearing black leggings, black shoes, a green shirt with a Bible verse, and a black jacket. Authorities say Brothers has a mental illness and may be confused about her location. If you have any information that can help investigators, you're asked to call the number on your screen, which is 256-593-6812. The Decatur Police Department hosting a town hall meeting tonight, the second just this year. It's happening right now at the Burning Tree Country Club. Here's a live look. Well, Fox 54's Gabe Glassman spoke with city leaders about what we can expect from this meeting.
I spoke with officials with the Decatur Police Department earlier this afternoon, and they say this event allows you to ask questions and voice concerns you may have for the department. You may remember DPD hosted a town hall meeting earlier this year, and DPD leadership felt that event was successful, with dozens of community members showing up with concerns of their own. One key point was additional training, which DPD Public Information Officer Jonathan Bates says is ongoing.
We've taken them into consideration by implementing trainings. As we speak right now, we have trainings going on for our officers and supervisors for de-escalation. As far as reaching out, be more involved in the community. As far as getting out our cars, knowing the people that we are protecting and serving, the community as a whole. So officers getting out the car, just knowing who the neighbors are in the residence is very much what we're trying to implement at the department. These town hall meetings are very, very critical, and we enjoy the feedback that we receive back. Chief Mack is very intentional on reaching out to the community of those who have expressed concerns, and very intentional on reaching out and getting the feedback from them as well.
For tonight's meeting, Chief Tori Mack and other top officials with the Decatur Police Department will be in attendance to answer your questions and concerns. In Decatur, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
And we'll stay in Decatur. We now know the results of a community survey put out by the city. The city received nearly 700 responses, and of those responses, nearly 38% prioritized public safety. As a top issue for the city, traffic and economic growth were also listed as important issues by participants. Mayor Kent Lawrence says addressing public safety remains a top priority for him.
Public safety has always been something that's important to me to begin with, and that's something that came up here. And we'll continue to support the new chief and everything that he's doing to improve our police department, more presence in neighborhoods, and we're doing a lot more of that. Hiring new police officers and a lot more training. We're actually have training programs going this whole week.
Lawrence also says the city plans to put out additional surveys in the future, with this poll being a benchmark, seeing how and where Decatur can improve. Also in Decatur, where they're suspending all recycling operations effective immediately. A mechanical failure at the city's recycling facility requires repairs that city officials say could take up to a month. Recycling collection routes will not operate, and drop-off locations are closed during this suspension. The city says you can place recyclable materials in the garbage or hold them until service resumes. The city will provide updates as repair timelines are confirmed. A Limestone County judge scheduled a new hearing date in the case against the Bell Minor rock quarry. Residents near the quarry have complained for years about dust, noise, light pollution, and increased truck traffic tied to quarry operations. Last Wednesday, the plaintiffs, represented by the Southern Environmental Law Center, argued quarry operators violated court orders while moving crushing equipment. A circuit court judge has now issued an order setting all pending motions for a Zoom hearing next Wednesday. The hearing will likely address whether to push the April trial back to allow time for new evidence gathering. A bridge nearly a century old is coming down in Florence after the Alabama Department of Transportation deemed it needed some major repairs. Construction expected to impact traffic along US 43 North heading into Florence for nearly 2 years as private contractors replace the bridge. Here's a look at the bridge on Mitchell Boulevard, which will see restricted traffic flow and closures beginning next week. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us what's coming.
The Mitchell Boulevard Bridge here in Florence is due for replacement. At 88 years old, the Alabama Department of Transportation is looking to make some big changes to it over the next 2 years. But in the meantime, it'll cause some impacts for traffic going in and out of Florence. Some of the biggest renovations include added shoulders, better guardrails, and steel support beams. In addition, the contractor Miller & Miller will raise the bridge higher so larger trucks can fit through more easily. The project, starting Monday, is expected to cost over $7 million. It should take around 2 years and multiple phases to finish construction on the new bridge. During that time, traffic will be restricted as workers start the disassembly process. After a few weeks, they'll open up a detour for northbound traffic headed into Florence. Then traffic will close completely while the new bridge goes up. AlDOT's Seth Burkett describes the need for a full overhaul, adding that commuters should be patient and prepared to take alternate routes.
Any bridge that's that old is usually going to be sort of deficient by modern standards as far as the width of the bridge and shoulders, things like that we construct on a bridge that we would be building nowadays for added safety. Bridges constructed in the 1930s typically don't have a lot of that stuff.
Burkett says the replacement bridge will modernize Mitchell Boulevard, making it safer and allowing even more cars on the road. In Florence, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Other main roads you can take into Florence during the bridge's replacement include Wilson Dam Road and the Singing River Bridge. The Alabama House has passed a bill that criminalizes the disruption of religious services. The legislation would make intentional disturbances a Class C felony. Anyone convicted of such an incident could face up to a decade in prison. The bill covers various religious buildings, including churches, synagogues, and mosques. State Representative Gregory Barnes expressed support for the bill, which he says will keep people accountable for their actions.
I think people want to make sure our places of worship, which just covers all of them, are safe. And we don't want intrusion, riot, issues. Anytime you have children, you have elderly, women, etc., there's always an opportunity for something bad to happen.
The measure now heads to the Alabama Senate. If passed, the bill would go into effect in October.
Huntsville actually in 2025 made the #2 list in the entire U.S. in terms of Wall Street coming in and buying Main Street.
We get a pulse on the housing market in the Tennessee Valley following President Trump's State of the Union remarks on big firms buying up property. Details ahead. And for this Huntsville artist, his paintbrush and his canvas is his love language. This Black History Month, we introduce you to Johnny Moore. This local artist got his start just like many others in the classroom. For years, Johnny Moore has taken his craft to new levels, showcasing ancestry and alchemy in new and exciting ways. Fox 54's Dave Glassman spoke with him about how his art reflects his identity and history.
Step inside Johnny Moore's studio, where you'll find him working on his latest piece.
I think I've always been an artist. In the younger years, I spent a lot of time in nature, school library, and things like that, and I always loved to draw. And I mean, at one point, all of us drew, all of us painted.
While Johnny may have gotten his start in the Rocket City, his work has been featured across the United States and beyond.
I moved to Pennsylvania, did artwork up there, got a chance to work with the groups like Groundswell out of Brooklyn, New York, Maps out of Philadelphia, muralists like Josh Titus, and Chicago. I was the ambassador of art to South America twice, 2014, 2012.
He says his creations are his way of sharing a story.
Being from the South, I'm probably a natural storyteller, and for me, art is a way of telling a story without the words, although I write as well. But art is a way of telling stories because it's whether you speak the language or not, it's universal. You don't have to speak a particular language to understand art because I think it's soul speak.
And those stories are told in red clay and gold mapping collections.
Red clay, it's the stuff of my childhood. I grew up, it stained our clothes, it stained our shoes. We made mud pies with it, we made balls with it, and we threw them at each other. It was always there, always the background. When you think about it, the essence of the clay, 102 minerals in the earth, the 102 minerals in our body, what makes it red is the iron oxide, our blood, the red in our blood. It literally is like painting with a living substance. Because truly, if you think about this, especially the southern ground, it's probably soaked with the blood of our ancestors.
And growing up in the South, Johnny's art connects with those who came before him and others who were on their own path.
I was doing a lot of searching for my ancestry, and I kept running into the enslavers. And I thought how unfair, that I had to end up there rather than I can't go back any further because everything like before that was pretty much wiped out in terms of the individual family line. But this is what came to me when I thought about the idea of Afrofuturism. I can't change my past, what came before me, but I do have the ability to choose my future. And so whatever was there leading up to where I'm going is one single line, our lives are. But that line meanders and goes and changes in different directions, and that's what creates the essence of who we are.
Johnny's story is still being drafted, one brushstroke at a time.
You'll never live to your fullest potential unless you're doing that thing that's in you to do. And my thing is if I stoke my fire hot enough, it'll warm others and inspire them to do the same.
In Huntsville, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
Wow, well, Johnny has also spent time teaching at all levels, from kindergarten to college. His message to students and artists who reach out to him: speak from your truth and tell your story. Fox 54 has an entire Black History Month special full of stories of Black excellence as we celebrate 100 years of Black History Month. It's available to watch anytime on demand right here on Fox 54 And this weekend is the 24th annual Black History Enrichment and Enlightenment Festival. I have the honor as serving as MC, and the event is free and includes music, entertainment, and free food. You can attend the festival at the Trinity United Methodist Church from 1 to 5 p.m. this Saturday. Coming up, Disney on Ice skates its way back to the VBC, and with some iconic characters too. A look at what's lined up for this year. And while it's cold there, it's getting warmer outside. But Jordan, will the sunshine return?
Yeah, once we're done talking about the scattered showers and thunderstorms, the sunshine is definitely going to make its return to the Tennessee Valley for your Friday. We'll talk about it in just a couple of minutes. Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.
Last month, I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up into thousands single-family homes.
Housing, a big topic across the nation. President Trump mentioned it several times during his State of the Union address this week. During his speech, Trump talked about an executive order that would stop private equity firms from buying homes. According to local realtor Matt Curtis, the Rocket City hasn't been immune, telling Fox 54 Huntsville was one of the biggest markets for firms to buy in last year.
Huntsville actually in 2025 made the #2 list in the entire U.S. in terms of Wall Street coming in and buying Main Street. 12% of the purchases made in Huntsville were from Wall Street investors. And so that, from the president, stopping that's going to be a huge thing for Huntsville and helping those first-time home buyers getting into their first homes.
Curtis also says the move would help grow the middle class as more first-time home buyers would be able to purchase homes.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
Yes. If you take a look at that time-lapse video, you were probably caught in that this morning, a downpour, but at this moment, it stayed dry throughout much of the afternoon into the evening. Very humid, though. And,
yeah, it was humid today.
Yeah, very humid, icky.
And then we've also seen a little bit of the rain, a few stronger thunderstorms build back in over the last 30, 45 minutes or so. But that's going to be a short-lived thing. Are you excited about the weekend?
I am.
Very good. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, but first we got to get through some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now, a lot of this activity is focused south of the Tennessee River. While we did have some rain here in the city of Huntsville early this morning, we are dry this evening, and most of this activity is dropping to the southeast. So I would anticipate that we're probably going to end up staying dry here in Huntsville specifically, and then up across southern Middle Tennessee. They're talking about some really nice quiet conditions this evening. Stronger thunderstorm beginning to push its way into Franklin and eventually into Lawrence County. It's got a severe thunderstorm warning associated with that. That is mostly to account for the fact that not only are we talking about some frequent lightning embedded within this thunderstorm, and at this point it's kind of sitting in between Littleville and Russellville, but we're also talking about the potential for some smaller hail to develop within this thunderstorm as well. Now, this does include the city of Moulton, and they've already had some pockets of very heavy rain move in and out of Moulton over the last 45 minutes. Now, the stronger of the two thunderstorms is currently pushing its way through Morgan County, trying to push its way into Coleman County, south of Hartselle, heading through Falkville right now. Looks like it's probably going to slide just to the north of South Vinemont. Some very heavy rain, some larger hail within this storm, seen anywhere between nickel and quarter size hail associated with this storm. It's going to continue to drop its way to the southeast. As a matter of fact, it'll move out of the Tennessee Valley probably within the next 20 or 25 minutes. Now, why are we getting the thunderstorms through the course of the afternoon? There was a really good chance that we were going to stay dry through the afternoon, and then even as we got into the evening. Well, that was assuming this boundary here was going to slide a little bit further to the south, and it was supposed to slide further to the south. It was kind of supposed to establish itself Birmingham and then points to the south, but it decided to establish itself a little bit further to the north. And because this boundary is sitting a little bit further to the north, this thunderstorm activity is able to impact North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, and then portions of northeast Mississippi. This stuff's not going to linger around too much longer. Now that we're beyond sunset, it's going to begin to weaken. Probably 6:30 to 7 o'clock, it'll begin to weaken a little bit. After that, we'll be dry Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Other opportunities for rain build into the Tennessee Valley Monday through Thursday of next week. Now, while we are talking about some stronger thunderstorms, thunderstorms. This is activity that we're going to be thankful for. We could use the rain across the area. Moderate drought conditions have kind of established themselves across the entire Tennessee Valley. We're definitely not talking about anything tornadic this evening, but the stronger thunderstorms is definitely a really good opportunity to remind you that we are heading into our spring severe weather season as we head into March, April, and then May. We have our secondary severe weather season in the month of November. Temperatures currently sitting in the 60s, even where they've been talking about rain over in northwest Alabama, they're still sitting in the 60s. As the clouds get out of here through the overnight, we're going to drop into the mid 40s, got a low temperature right around 45 degrees, warming quickly tomorrow morning, 49 at 8, 54 by 9, 58 degrees at 10 o'clock in the morning with plenty of sunshine. 68 tomorrow afternoon, 72 both Saturday and Sunday. The weekend really does look fantastic. Saturday better than Sunday because Saturday is going to come with more sunshine. We stick with the upper 60s, lower 70s, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Look at that. By the time we get to next Thursday, temperatures climbing into the mid 70s. Got a high right around 75 degrees.
The most magical characters we know and love are back at the VBC tonight. Disney on Ice returns to Huntsville for Mickey's Search Party. The show will feature Mickey and friends in an adventure packed with world-class skating, high-flying acrobatics, and unexpected stunts. If you can't make it tonight, the high-flying adventure will remain in the Rocket City through Sunday. You can find ticket information on FOX54.com. And we'll be streaming a live performance of Disney on Ice tomorrow morning. You can check it out live at 9 a.m. right here on Fox 54 Plus. Well, what's going on with the Crimson Tide?
Well, they've run their win streak to 7 in a row after beating Mississippi State. We'll talk to Coach Oates about that recent victory next.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates, featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True crime warrior style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Nate Oates and the Alabama Crimson Tide are running their current win streak to 7 games last night, and they did so by hitting a season high in the SEC. The 17th ranked men's basketball team in the country knocking down, get this, 22 three-pointers and a 175 win over Mississippi State. The 22 threes are the most this season by an SEC squad. Alabama got solid outputs from Amari Allen, Latrell Wrightsell, and Aiden Holloway, who went for 22, 18, and 16, respectively. And they did all this without LeBaron Fine. This was Alabama's 9th straight game in which they have won when it comes to hitting 10 or more three-pointers.
When you move the ball, you got shooters all over the floor, and you typically make threes. Thought we came out with the right intent tonight to move the ball and make threes. So, yeah, this team, they do a pretty good job collapsing when you do beat them. I think once we started hitting them all, they started switching and trying to build out some, and then that's what I think we're, Holloway got downhill, scored at the rim a little bit, but, we only took 21 twos tonight.
All right, here's our look at the Saturday SEC slate. Alabama traveling to Tennessee for a battle of top 25 teams. Tip-off in Knoxville is set for 5 p.m. on ESPN. Auburn, they're back at home on the Plains against Ole Miss. Their tip-off around 7:30. That game airs live on SEC Network. Very big basketball games taking place this Saturday on the Hill. Alabama A&M playing host to arch rival Alabama State. Tip-off for the women is set for 2 p.m. The men's game will begin somewhere after 4 p.m. Speaking of the Bulldogs, and Lady Bulldogs to be exact, we'll actually talk to the ladies about that special run they're on right now, and that'll take place tonight in sports at 9 on Fox 54. Kanisha.
Yes, Mo, coming up tonight on Fox 54 News at 9. As the start of the World Cup approaches, one Alabama congressman sounding the alarm on drone security, his concerns ahead. States nationwide are under pressure to crack down on SNAP fraud. That could mean more than $200 million in expenses for the state. What this could mean for you. And happening right now, the Decatur Police Department hosting its second community town hall of the year. We'll tell you what residents are concerned about tonight at 9. Before we let you go, dozens of preschool students in Chicago took part in a mini polar plunge yesterday. Just look, the Catholic school transformed one of its classrooms into a frosty water oasis. One by one, the children took a dip with only their feet, as you saw, into kiddie pools filled with ice. The event was held before Chicago's annual Polar Plunge event this Sunday, with all proceeds going to Polar Plunge Chicago, benefiting Special Olympics Illinois. Well, that's like a cute and safe way for the kiddos to do their own little polar plunge.
Yes, and one day these fine humans will learn that people pay lots of money to dip their feet in ice baths. You just call it a pedicure, and all of a sudden it becomes fancy and expensive.
I was going to ask, if you put your feet in, do you technically consider that a plunge?
You plunged something.
A mini plunge, maybe.
Yeah.
A mini plunge.
Something. Quick look at the radar. Still talking about some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now these packing a bit of a punch. The big concern there would be the frequent lightning and a little bit of hail. This activity sitting south of the Tennessee River. It'll begin to fizzle out probably over the next half hour to an hour.
It'll all pass.
Right.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you tonight at 9. Have a good one.